Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I am getting ready for my Define Me Women's Conference at the church today. Lincoln is staying with Dad, and Mommy is going out to the church. He is hanging out in his room. That's where I'm at, because our closets connect through. I've showed you guys that in a previous video, but now you guys can see Lincoln. Oh, now they can see you. Yeah, they can see my baby. Alright guys, so this right here is the dress that I'm going with. It goes all the way down and back up. And I'm probably going to change this necklace out from my mom necklace that the boys got me. Fix this mop. I woke up like this. Yeah. I'm not one of those Instagram models that wake up fantabulous. I wake up like I had a rough night. That's what it looks like. So right now, I'm gonna get Lincoln dressed, brush my teeth, comb my hair out, try to maybe straighten it or something. I don't know, it is gonna be 80 degrees, so I might I don't know what I'm gonna do with it just yet. But I'm gonna do something with it, and we're gonna go to the Define Me Women's Conference. Okay guys, I just pulled into the church. I am gonna actually try to film. I'm not gonna make it super obvious that I'm filming, but I am gonna try to film. So see little bits and pieces of what's going on and what's happening and stuff. So I'll see you guys inside.
Father, we thank you for this day that you have brought each and every one of these ladies out to be with us today. And we give you the praise and the glory and the honor for what you're going to do. We know that we're not going home the way we came, because we came here today for you to define us, to make us the women of God that you have called us to be. And we're thanking you ahead of time that the work is already completed and done. And we give you the praise and the glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Alright, so anybody that doesn't know, the bathroom is back on the left, and later on we're gonna have lunch, and it's around the back, and I'll just explain that when we get that far. But first I just want to start off with a little bit of fun so that we can get into the seriousness afterwards, get the fun out of the way. But my mom, Mama Jean, Roz's mom, everybody knows her, it doesn't matter. But she's got some door prizes that she's going to give out, and hopefully a little bit of a fun way, right? Yeah.
Oh, was I supposed to keep that?
Well, ladies, I'd just like to welcome you all here today.
Oh, I have
It's good to see you. And our ladies at Victory have been very generous with donations for door prizes. And I just want you to know that if you don't get something now, don't leave, because we have some more door prizes we're going to give away during our luncheon. So, I'd like to ask a couple questions, and if you fit into this category, if you'd please stand up. Well, actually, one of you's gonna stay standing. Let me get this right. Guy kind of changed this up on me a tad bit today. So I need whoever's been married the longest. So if there's anybody that's been married at least 25 years, please stand up.
I thought you was about to stand up.
Awesome. Do any of you ladies, have you been married at least 30 years? If you haven't, you can sit down. Okay. How about 35 years? Y'all been married 35 years? How about 40?
Jean,
Huh?
one quick question. What if they were married but their mate is deceased? Do they still count for that?
Oh, you just had to throw that in. Okay, if you were married 40 years or longer and your husband passed away, you can stand up. Okay. Was anybody married to their husband for 45 years before they passed away? Uh-oh. 40.
No, it's married or deceased.
That's
good if it counts.
Didn't check this morning, but.
Okay. We're not too late. What about 47 years? 50?
Wow.
63. And you? 63 years? Over here, you can sit down. Woo! 63 years. That's awesome. They're actually been married longer than I've been alive. That's cool.
Huh?
Okay.
We pretty much already
Well, so
said.
before 30s and before, just stand back up. If you were up before 4, okay. If you were 425, 420, 415. Okay. 410, 4 o'clock.
They both woke up at 4.
They both woke up at 4 o'clock. Both of you did? Okay, if you both woke up at 4 o'clock, I have one more question.
Time to go to bed.
I like that one. Let's go with that. What time did you ladies go to bed last night?
Midnight.
And you? Okay. Whose birthday is closest to today? Now, Shelley, if you could help me out, I need you to draw 3 names out of our containers. And if Shelley calls your name, I want you to come up and stand up over here. Not close.
Rachel Archler. Jessica Wood.
Woo-hoo.
And Joanne Martin. Now, am I putting these back in?
No,
No, they don't need to, no,
Just what?
because you didn't go again.
yeah, so no, those don't go back in.
So, go back out there.
Right, yeah. So this is Team A and this is Team B. Okay? A and B. And I am going to let Team A come up and each of you can pick out one gift. Can't open it though. Oh, that would have been fun. Okay, you can open your gifts. This lady got our Bath and Body collection. It's got 2 lotions, if you open up the lid. It also has a Bath and Body gift card.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Sorry.
This is a nice coffee cup. And inside that coffee cup, if you don't have any idea what you want to put in it, you got a Tim Hortons gift card. Something in there. And this is our igloo. It's called Day Tripper. And inside the bag, there's all sorts of items that you could use for a day trip, overnight trip, whatever. And it also is a cooler. So you can use it as a cooler. So you don't have to pull everything out. Now if Team B would like to come over and pick something out. Don't go nowhere. Wow. You got the big one. You can open them. Throw that stuffing all over the place.
Candles, you guys.
Pray more, work less. And if one of the things you were praying about is money and worrying about money, we have a nice Visa gift card in there. And this young lady got our candle collection. These are anchor candles in 5 different scents, so she can probably find one to fit just about any room, any mood. And Miss Rachel won our paparazzi jewelry collection.
Yes.
Now, what I'm going to give you ladies a chance to do is I'm going to allow you to come over and take one of their gifts in exchange for your gift, but you have to do one thing. You have to tell each lady one positive thing about them as a woman of God. One positive thing. If you like your gift, you can keep your gift. So what would you like to do? Awesome. You can keep your gift. You want to keep yours? Okay, well, there we go. Everybody gets to keep their gifts, so I hope you ladies enjoy them. And I'd just like to thank the Women of Victory who all made the donations and made everything possible. God bless you.
Alright, so this conference to me is probably, I'm hoping to be one of everybody's life-changing events in this place. My prayer for this conference was that nobody would walk out the way that they walked in. And I believe that God heard that and that He is going to honor it. And in my own experience, and I think just talking to other women, I feel like one of the biggest revelations, one of my biggest life-changing events was figuring out who I am. Not who the world says that I am, but who God says that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggled with that for a really, really long time, and I believed everything that the world said about me. You know, I believed what my kid's dad said about me, and that was a very, bad relationship. So the things that came were nothing but lies and straight from Satan, and I believed those things. And it was drilled into my head for 17 years of what I was. And I accepted those things, and I made them a part of me. And I walked with them, and we had fun together, you know? And then I came here, and I met Pastor Danny. And for a long time, every Thursday, he would sit with me in the prayer garden and talk to me and tell me the truth. He also told me things about me that were not scriptural, that I didn't want to believe, but I had to, or I couldn't change.
Right.
And so I did. And this was right before the first Inspired Awakening. And so our time was starting to run short, and he started getting busier and had other things to do, you know, so our days kind of came to an end, and I almost felt a little bit of rejection. But that was the world's ideas coming back at me. That just was God's way of saying, now it's your turn. It's your turn to dig into my word. It's your turn to talk to me and let me tell you who you are. And that's what I did. And, you know, a lot of times we blame people for things, you know, and, well, I'm just not getting fed, or I'm just not this, or I'm not that, or whatever. But what, you know, we have to do our own part too. And we have to accept what God tells us, you know, and sometimes that's hard. But, and, you know, after God started sharing with me who I really was, and my life really started changing, he started putting me in places, you know. So I had seasons where I had to be out in children's church. Okay, that's not my thing, you know. But I had to be out there, and God worked things out of me through doing that, you know. And a lot of times we're put in places where we are put outside of our box to stretch us, to get us to where we need to be. And if we allow God to move in us during those times, he will reveal things to us. And so today, what I feel like God put on my heart for this conference was to bring people out of their comfort zone, to not do the normal, you know. And so, like, Jeannie is normally our praise and worship leader, and she's amazing, you know. But not today. Today Amy is. You know, and she even questioned me about it a little bit. But she's where she needs to be. And then we got two special ladies that, you know, maybe aren't exactly comfortable talking in front of people, but are going to share their heart with you. And these are going to be stepping stones for them, and I hope that they will be for you guys too. And then afterwards, we're going to have Elizabeth pour into us, and I just pray that everybody came with a heart prepared. So we're going to let Jenny, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we're gonna bring Holly up, so. So everybody welcome Holly. You have to have this too. Do you need me to hold you? Oh, you do.
Okay. I wasn't nervous. Maybe I can turn around.
You're too pretty for all that.
Okay. Well, welcome, ladies. Today I'm going to share my testimony. And I'm a crier. So I got my tissues. Okay, so here it goes. You guys can stay out there. Oh, thanks. So I wrote a bunch of stuff down, and it was crazy. I tried to rip it out this morning, and it started to rip in half. So I had to leave it in this book. So there's some stuff I may not be able to read, but I mean, it's my life, I know it. Okay, so. No, I didn't. Whew, okay. Okay, so before I met Jesus Christ, I was a mess. I grew up with parents who were addicted to some sort of something my whole entire life. I spent many nights as a child taking care of my mom because she got drunk or high, and she had a lot of health issues, and the drugs and alcohol would send her into a seizure. My parents were the type of people that believed what happened behind closed doors stayed behind closed doors. As a matter of fact, we were raised to never show emotion, speak of any of our problems, because we had to act like there was no problems. We were dressed with the best of the best. We had the newest shoes, our hair was always done, and our makeup was always on point. To the outside world, my sisters and I were living a perfect world, but it was actually complete chaos behind closed doors. As I became a teenager, my main goal was to look good, of course. I was absolutely boy crazy, and I was snobby. I only spoke to you if you were on my level, and if you wasn't on my level, I would tell you. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. Okay, so at 16 years old, I met a man that I thought I would be with forever. We drank and we drank, and I became sexually active. So, guess what happens? This snobby, stuck-up brat gets pregnant. So my whole life was about to change, so I thought. I just knew that I was gonna marry this man, we were gonna live together forever, and I was wrong again. So I'm pregnant, I can't drink, and I'm not his drinking buddy anymore, so he cheats on me with my good friend. So let me add throughout this whole pregnancy that my parents didn't speak to me for 8 months. As a matter of fact, my dad was actually gonna kill him, and he hid for a long time. But on April 11th, 2000, at 2:13 a.m., I delivered my best friend, Addison. She's here, Neodexis. And it changed my whole life. I learned that day what love really was. I still didn't get my act together. Of course, Addie's dad and I went our separate ways. And I continued drinking and being sexually active, and I got pregnant with my son, Gage, who is now 17. And let me add, he's the biggest challenge of all my kids. And if anybody see him, just pray for him and with him. So I was 19, I was pregnant with my son, Gage. This wasn't a relationship. But when Gage was just a few months old, I got with the man that I'm with today. And we've been together 17 years. My now husband and I have 2 boys together, Blake and Bryce, who are 14 and 15, who are my absolute world. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how I made it to 20. Anyways, so I got into nursing school, I completed that, and I did nursing for a long time. My grandmother fell ill to Alzheimer's, and my family asked if I would go in and work with her to keep her in her home. I did that for a long time. My mother would stay with my grandma at night. It was my mom's mom. She would stay with her at nighttime, and I would relieve her at 8 a.m. every day. So one morning, I walked into my grandmother's house at 8 a.m. It was June 16th, 2010, and I found my mother deceased. She had died of an accidental overdose. Although she was an addict, she was my best friend. You know, when you lose a part of yourself and you lose your mom, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So once again, I started drinking heavily. I was trying to be a mom. I was trying to be a fiance because Lee and I wasn't married at this time. I was also trying to keep my father happy. I mean, my parents were together for 30 plus years, so my dad didn't know how to live life without her. So 4 months after losing my mom, almost to the day, I found my father deceased of an accidental overdose. After all this happened for about a year and a half, I don't really know what happened. I mean, there was people who helped us financially with my dad's funeral, Lee's mom, I don't remember any of it. Like, they're like, oh, you remember? No, I don't remember. I stayed drunk. I was in a depression. I was a mess. I don't know. And it was hard. I think, okay, so here's what happened. When I lost my dad, it was harder than I thought. Like, losing my mom was like losing my best friend. But losing my dad, he was a tough guy. He didn't tell you. I mean, one time my whole life, he said he loved me. And I had a lot of rejection from him. He was very abusive when we were kids. And I was short. So, and all my sisters are like 5'9", 5'10", and 5'11", and then I'm the runt. So it was easy for him. It was easy for him to abuse me more because he was only like 5'9". So it was like he'd come chasing after me. I'm like, oh no, but he'd always get me. So I felt a lot of rejection from him, and there was all kinds of unanswered questions that I wish he was here now, as I've grown, to ask him, like the whys. But I'm okay with that. I've got closure on that. But anyway, so I lived with a lot of rejection from him, and it led me down a complete road of destruction. I went from drinking to becoming addicted to crack cocaine. Whew. It sucks to say it out loud. I was keeping myself high or drunk as often as I could. My life was so dark, and it was heading down to the pits of hell, and I couldn't see it. I gave away my kids to my sister because I chose drugs and alcohol over them. I ended up stealing credit cards from somebody that I knew. And I got charged with felony, and they put me on probation, which lasted a whole 5 months, because as soon as they released me from jail, I was out like a month, and I was good. And then immediately I started dabbling back into the stuff like I wasn't gonna get caught. Well, I ended up failing a drug test, and I got sentenced to prison for 30 months. Here's the thing, I go into prison like the old me. Like I was walking into a high school. Like, girl, like giving these grown women who are big convicts, like killed people, like, look at them shoes. Like, I was a mess. So I'm going into the prison like I was better than them. And I don't know how I didn't get in a fight. So anyways, I don't know how I lived through that. But I did, and I came home. And, okay, so I'm gonna just get to this, what God's done for me. I've hit the bad points, really the perks of the bad part of my life. Last June, throughout the end of my prison sentence, the majority of my prison sentence, I know that I was being prayed for, my family was being prayed for. So without Beth, Danny, everybody, I don't know where we'd be right now. But last June, particularly, when I was home, Pastor Philip Durber came here. Back in 2015, my husband and I would come to church just to say we were at church. And we were still a mess. We were still doing drugs, we were still drinking, but you know what, we could be like, hey, we went to church. You know, that's what we do. But we weren't getting that out of church. Well, this one particular Friday back in 2015, Pastor Philip Durber was here. And I'm sure if anybody has experienced him, at the end of his sermon, everybody comes and stands up front. And then he lays hands on you. And everybody hits the ground. So, in 2015, my husband and I were standing back there, And we were the only two that didn't come up front. And we were back there like, these people are nuts. And he's the ringleader of it. So, I'm not kidding. We couldn't figure out a way to sneak out because Danny was at that door. And everybody's staring at us. I'm like, we ain't going up there and getting whatever he's throwing at people because he's knocking them straight to the ground. So, last June, here's Pastor Philip Derber again. And I kind of think I had my heart right. I was just, I don't know what's smaller than a baby Christian, but I was that. And I was getting there. I was sitting with Danny and Beth. I know there was everybody in the church praying for us. And Pastor Derber's here again, and I thought, here we go. He's here. Of course, I'm home, and of course he shows up. So I make this huge argument with my husband. Like, I'm not going. Because I knew this time I couldn't sit in that seat. I was going to have to go out there and face it. So my husband comes here by himself, and I get a phone call from Miss Beth. It was like he started at 7, she was calling me at 7:01. Where are you? I'm like, well, let me tell you what he did. And she was like, he didn't do anything. You need to be here. I know he's got something for you. So, Lee leaves the church to come pick me up. And I'm pretty sure I'm texting him and telling him all about himself. Like, I can't believe you went to that church telling them blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'll be ready, but I ain't going up front with that man. Well, I get here, and I don't even know what he was talking about. Like, I don't know, my mind wasn't that great then. But anyways, it was really good. So I ended up coming up front. He laid me out. The whole way coming up, I'm thinking, how am I going to tell this man he's going to have to punch me to get me to go down because I'm just a mess. This man laid me out. I'm pretty sure Shelley said I thumped. And it was just amazing. Like, I laid on that ground, shaking like a fish out of water. I felt the release of anger, hate. I don't even know what all the words are. But when I finally came up, it was probably 50 minutes later, I felt like. Danny says, did anybody get anything out of that? And I said, me! I don't know what it was, but I got it. And he was like, all right. And Gary, your husband, Gary's like, oh yeah, I did, yeah. I couldn't describe it at that time, but once I got home and was able to even look at my husband in a whole new way, and my children, and I lost the self-pity that I was carrying, like, me, I. All that was gone. Like, it was an amazing experience. I don't even know where I'm at. Okay, so, and all this was overcome through Jesus Christ.
Amen.
I now have all my children home. The man I was with for 16 years, God united us in marriage after we lived together in sin for, I don't know, forever. God has changed me into something I thought I'd never be. In Isaiah 41:13, it says, For I am the Lord, your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. I love this scripture. He has taken my hand. Whew, okay, I'm going to cry again. He has taken my hand and he's led me into this church, and he's placed me with people that I know I should be with. Amazing people. People that I can call my family. I can pick up the phone and call anytime. They're not judgmental. Well, they don't say anything to my face. Amazing, like, I should have been here a long time ago. And God has taken the darkness out of my life. I have a brightness that is unexplainable. In Isaiah 40:29, it says he gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. I feel so empowered. I'm up here talking from my heart. I wrote all this down, and I'm not quite sure what I've read. It's definitely, I prayed hard about just God work through me and let me talk through you, and we're definitely done it today. Everything that's happened in my life can only be God. So I have just one last thing to say to you ladies. There's your way, there's my way, and there's a right way, and that's only through Him. Thank you.
So, number one, public speaking is hard enough, but then when you go out and you put all your junk out there, that's a lot harder. That takes a lot to do, and only God can do that. But you know what? She just healed. Standing up here, and I thank God for that. So, so next we have Jenny, and she's amazing. God has gifted her with the ability to write poems. And a lot of people don't know that because she doesn't share that very much often. She tries to be the cute little flower against the wall that nobody talks to, but we're bringing her out of that because, you know, her and Gary got big things to do, and she's going to have to break out in order to do it. So everybody, please welcome Jenny.
And I'm not going to get you just because I see you looking at me. So Ross asked me to talk about something before I started, and it was kind of a weird week for me because she kept asking, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to talk about? I'm like, I don't know. Well, this week, every time I would get on Facebook, Shelly's post would pop up about the conference, Define Me. And I'm like, why does this keep popping up on my Facebook? And then Wednesday after church, my husband asked me, what's your conference about again? And I told him, Define Me. He goes, Define Me. That's good. I go, yeah, I guess so. And then Thursday, we went grocery shopping, and he was putting groceries in the car, and all of a sudden he just said, Define Me. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, well, you know you're worthy of His love. I said, wow, okay. And then I kind of sat in the car and was thinking to myself, I was like, now I know why he keeps saying that, because God's telling me to say something about Define Me. So here's my poem. Sorry. I used to think I wasn't worthy of God's love, the hurtful things I did and wasn't proud of. I felt so lost, a heart so broken, and my life was shattered. With the loss of my dad, nothing else seemed to matter. I can't see. I got to my lowest point in my life with nowhere to turn and pushed away loved ones without a care or concern. The thoughts of what I do now, where do I go? My life has no meaning, I have nothing to show. With my heart in pieces and an eye full of tears, I laid down that life that had bound me for years. Lord, hear me cry out. I hurt in such a way. I need your guidance. In Jesus' name I pray. An indescribable feeling suddenly came over me. A feeling of love, happiness, and finally being free. I still had thoughts of how could God love me after all I have done. I never thought my sins and shame could be overcome. But God replied, I know what you've been through, and I know what you have done. That is why I gave the life of my only son. I am worthy of His grace, and I am worthy of His love. And for that I praise my Heavenly Father above. Yes, I am worthy of His love. I am His daughter, and I am clean. That is how my gracious Father defines me.
I invite you guys to stand. This is not our normal worship team. Well, some of them are our normal worship team. And it's amazing how God put us together.
Alright guys, I was able to record some of the Define Me Women's Conference. That was such an amazing time, and it was an amazing experience. I really hope that you guys liked the clips. Sorry that the video is a little longer. Hopefully you guys made it to this point. But if you didn't, that's fine. I guess it's all on like what you like to watch and your religion and everything. After this, we went to... I came home and then we went to a car show. It was Lincoln's first car show. He had a blast. And then we went to my cousin Jessica, who is 20 years old. She got her bachelor's in medical science, I do believe. She's going to be a naturopathic doctor, which I am so very proud of her. So Jessica, if you're watching this, I'm very proud of you. I love you so much. And I can't wait to see where your career takes you. But on this note, I love you guys, every one of you. Please like this video if you made it to here, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next one. If you guys have any video ideas, put those down below, and I will record. That's all. Like, I have time to do all that stuff. So if you guys like have any questions, want to do a Q&A, put questions down below, or go on my Instagram and like one of my last pictures. You guys can comment a bunch of questions on that one, or just DM them to me if you guys are like don't want to know or don't want others to know who you are. Just go ahead and DM them, and then also put in there that you don't want your username to be used. Well, I hope that you guys... My closet door is open. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm in Lincoln's room, if you guys can't tell by the baby towels, basket of baby washcloths, his ultrasound pictures that are up here. Yeah, I'm in his room, literally sitting on the floor because he's in his pack and play, sleeping in the living room. So, and I was just doing some laundry, getting some things cleaned up. It's Monday. This stuff that you guys are getting ready to, or that you guys actually already seen, is was recorded over the weekend. So, anyways, I look like complete and total crap. I have no makeup on. Hair is just like thrown up in a mom bun, but it is what it is. What do you guys think about this whole Jaclyn Hill, like, lipstick thing? This is crazy. Like, I feel so sorry for that poor girl. I love Jaclyn Hill to death. I have been a subscriber since way before her original palette, way before the fall collection, way before now. I mean, it's crazy. I just feel so bad for her. It's like every time she puts something out, except for her original palette, was just a total, like, fail. And I feel so bad for her because she was so happy about this whole lipstick launch with her, like, own brand. That's the sad part. It's her own brand. But, I mean, I don't know if she's using, like, the cheap slabs, if that's a thing. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, I'm just chattering, so I'm gonna go ahead and go, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.